All right, so we are live on YouTube. Let's jump right in here, and give me just a moment. Get with some stuff. There we go. Stop doing it. Okay, here we go. All right. How's everybody doing? Since we are live on YouTube. All right, everybody. I'm sure everybody can hear me tonight. We have Scott Benning and Kenneth Lamar who have joined us here online. And we have some people on YouTube who will join us too, but we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Tonight, we're going to do compliance. This is the first part of the series in the How to Dispatch series, part number 1, compliance. And of course, my name is Calvin Butler. I'm with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatcher Network. And tonight is How to Dispatch training. We have training here every Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, next week at 7 p.m. to 9, we will not be doing training next week or the week after that because we have our we'll be giving our 2-week career placement, guaranteed career placement training for those individuals who signed up to take our 2-week training for the guaranteed career placement for them to be hired within brokerage firms that we're managing. So, and we do day courses and we do night courses. It's 2 weeks long. The day courses are from 9 to 12, and then we take a break at 12 and come back at 1, and then from 1 to 3. The night courses are from 7 to 9 p.m. It's going to be Monday through Friday next week and the week after next. So next week and the week after next, we won't be having any dispatch training because we'll be doing our weekly training for our people who are taking the 2-week training course for the guaranteed career placement events. All right, but right after that, we'll pick that back up, and we will move on with our how to dispatch training. All right, but tonight we're going to go over compliance. We're going to go over the legalities, what makes dispatching legal, what is the difference between a dispatcher and a freight broker. We're going to go over what you need to be a dispatcher, some of the things you're going to need, how you have to be certified with your state and things of that nature. We're also going to go over what type of computer equipment and tools and things you're going to need in order to be able to dispatch properly and make a go at this. All right, so let's go to get started. Let me start sharing my screen. All right, let's go ahead and pull up this. First of all, let's go over, okay, what's needed to be a dispatcher. All right, first of all, let's go ahead and go over legality. Okay, that's always a big topic. Is what makes dispatch firms legal? Are dispatch firms legal? Do dispatch firms need a bond? Do they have to have an authority? Do they have to have insurance? Do they need to be registered as a legal entity with the state? Do they have to have an EIN number? All these things are questions that people usually have when they hear about dispatching. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. So let's go straight to the source and let's go to the statute. Let's go to CFR 49, Part 172. This is the statute basically that covers dispatchers. See CFR, hold up here, make sure I got the right one. Make sure we got the right statute. One moment. Make sure we got the right statute. We're not looking for the hazardous material. We're looking for the bona fide agent. Here we go. All right. This is the one that covers dispatches. Okay. Is CFR 371 dot 2 is the actual statute that we're going to be going over that covers what makes a dispatcher legal. This is the portion of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and DOT statute that covers dispatchers, and it outlines what their legalities are and what they basically can and cannot do. All right. Does everybody here know the difference between a dispatcher and a freight broker? Can anybody tell me what's the main difference between a dispatcher and a freight broker? Anybody?
Dispatcher books the freight for the carrier, and a broker find loads for the shipper.
Well, not quite. Okay. I think you got a little confused on what you were saying there. All right.
Or maybe it's the word. I'm sorry, go ahead. Maybe I worded it wrong. Like the dispatcher, the dispatcher works for the carrier and the broker works for the shipper.
Okay, there you go. All right. That's the basic difference. The dispatcher is representing the carrier, okay? And the broker represents the shipper. So they have two separate interests there. If you are a truck driver or a carrier, and you think a broker is their main objective is to be concerned with you making money, that's not really their main objective. The broker's main objective is make sure that shipper's freight gets moved, and it gets moved at a rate that they have already discussed with that shipper, because the shipper has agreed to pay that broker a margin. Okay, there's a margin that the shipper agrees to pay the broker to move their freight. And matter of fact, let me break this down to you real quick here. I'm gonna show y'all some numbers here. Everybody can see my calculator. All right. So this is how it works for a broker. Okay. A broker will contact the shipper and basically let the shipper know, say, hey, Mr. Shipper, I've got access to 100,000 trucks at our disposal, or 5,000 carriers or fleets or whatever the case may be. So we've got enough trucks out there that we have on board with our brokerage firm to be able to adequately move your freight. Now, when that happens, that shipper is going to give that broker some lanes. That shipper's going to say, okay, well, I've got, I move, pallets of electronics for houses or whatever the case may be. And that broker is going to say, and so that shipper is going to say, well, and we move freight from, let's say, Dallas, Fort Worth to Atlanta. That's one of our lanes. Another lane we move is from Dallas to Miami, Florida. Another lane we have is from Dallas to New York, and from Dallas to wherever. Okay, so it would give them those lanes. Now, what a broker would do is they would go in and they would analyze the lane rates. Okay, and let's say from Dallas to Atlanta, let's say the average lane rate for a dry van carrier that's hauling pallets, and that broker is going to have to determine how many pallets can go on that dry van trailer. Well, on a 53-foot dry van trailer, you can put single stack pallets, 2 rows on a single foot dry van trailer. For a single stack, you can put about 26 pallets on there. If you're doing double stack, which means 2 rows, and if they're going to be double stacked, you can put about 56. You can put about 50 to 56 pallets on there when you're doing double stack. So what they're going to do is they're going to check the lane rates. The lane rates on that, they're going to check and see what the average rates were for the last 90 days. All right, they're going to get a 90-day average of all the freight that moved on a dry van trailer that was carrying pallets. They're going to check that rates and see what the 90-day lane rate was, what the 30-day lane rate was, and what the future lane rate is, what the most projected future lane rate is. Now, take for instance, there may have been, 500 or 600 trucks that ran that lane, in the last 90 days, okay? And those are gonna range anywhere from $2 and some odd cents per mile all the way up to about $5 or $6 per mile. But it's gonna pull it up and it's gonna extrapolate, it's gonna give them what's called an average lane rate. That average lane rate is gonna come in somewhere to be about $3.45 to $4.47 per mile. So here is how a broker would do that. They'll take that average lane rate, okay? If the average lane rate comes up to be $4.75 per mile, okay? And the way they do that, they look at the pallets and they see what it's gonna cost per pallet, whatever it may be. Per pallet, it may come out to be like, on a single stack pallets, 26 pallets, may come out to be $147, $152 per pallet, okay? And then they'll break that down by the number of miles that it's going, and that's how they determine what the average lane rate is. So the average lane rate, let's say, come out to $4.75. Now that broker is going to add a margin on top of that, because with the average lane rate that ran, and those rates are ran anywhere from, some people will run those lanes for $2.50 a mile, some people ran those lanes for $6 per mile, but the average comes in around $4.75. So the broker's going to take that $4.75 and they're going to add what's called their margin to it. This is their profit. That $4.75 is really what the carrier is going to get. So now the broker has got to negotiate with the shipper on what their margin is. Okay, so you're going to take that $4.75, you're going to multiply that. You're going to add to that, let's say, 20% margin. Okay, add 20%. So that's going to be 95 cents per mile. So that's going to be $5.70 per mile. So now the broker is going to try to get from the shipper $5.70 per mile. That's the $4.75 plus their 75 cents that they're making per mile, to make their money. Okay, that's how it's done with a broker. So now the broker gets that for the $5.70, and they'll put it on the load board, or they'll put it out to the trucking company for $4.70 a mile, and then that's how they get their margin, minus that let's say 70, put it on there for $4.75 a mile, and that's going to give them what? 95, going to give that broker 95 cents per mile. Okay, that's how the broker makes their money. Okay, that's how brokers make their money. Now, how do dispatchers make their money? Dispatchers make their money by contracting with owner-operators, carriers, and the carriers that they contract with, they must contract with the authority holder. They can't contract with a company driver who is driving for a company. They must contract with the authority holder. And what they do is they contract with that authority holder to go out and find freight that carrier has specifically said that they want. They cannot go out and just grab a whole bunch of freight or grab a bunch of freight and then shotgun it out. They cannot post loads to social media or on load boards. Why? Because they do not have an authority. Okay, they don't have an authority. They don't need an authority because they are operating under who? The carrier's authority, the owner operator's authority, the authority holder. They are operating under their authority, and it says so right here in the statute. Hold on. Says so right here in the statute, as you all can see here. This is the statute that determines the legality for dispatchers and both brokers. It's 49 CFR 49.371.2. Definition: broker means a person who, for compensation, arranges and offers to arrange the transportation of property by an authorized motor carrier. Motor carriers are persons who are employees or bona fide agents of carriers. Now, that bona fide agent is a dispatcher, okay? Or bona fide agents of a carrier, right? Now, it says here, or bona fide agents of carriers are not brokers within the meaning of this section when they arrange or offer to arrange the transportation of shipment which they are authorized to transport. So it's basically telling you right there that bona fide agents are legal. They're legal because they are authorized to arrange the transport of shipments which they are authorized to transport and which they have accepted and legally bound themselves to transport. Now, it's basically telling you right there that brokers are brokers because they have a bond, they have insurance, they have an authority, they have all that stuff that they have. So they can make that arrangement with the shipper, okay? They can make that arrangement with the shipper. And dispatchers, both dispatchers and carriers and their bona fide agents who are dispatchers can and they are authorized to work with who? Brokers. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
All right. Who are dispatchers not authorized to work with? Anybody want to take a stab at that?
Shippers.
Shippers. Dispatchers cannot work with shippers. They cannot contact shippers directly. Dispatchers cannot get loads directly from shippers. They can't do it. Okay? I see some dispatchers out there doing stuff like that. They can't do it. Dispatchers are not even allowed to arrange to get collect payments from a shipper. Okay? Dispatchers cannot collect payments from a shipper. Okay? So there's some dispatchers out there that do it. You can't do it. I had a young lady that called me the other day. She wanted advice because her carrier had his own factoring company, right? And he wanted to factor his own. He wanted to go through his own factoring company, but the broker had a factoring company, and the carrier sent her the information to send over to the broker, and she wanted to know if, because he has his own factoring company, can she do the paperwork between the carrier and his factoring company to collect the money for the carrier? No, she cannot. The dispatcher cannot do that paperwork. Okay, the dispatcher can send that paperwork over to the broker because they are authorized to do what? Work with the broker. They can send that information to the broker and let the broker know that the carrier's part of the money is not going to be factored by the broker's factoring company. It's going to be factored by the carrier's broker, by the carrier's factoring company. Therefore, the broker can just factor their margin. Okay, they can just get their portion. The factoring company only going to factor their margin, which is kind of good for the broker because they save on their line of credit that factoring company has given them to pay for load fees and things of that nature. So that saves them a good chunk of that line of credit. So now they can factor more stuff through them without having to use all their money up. Okay. Now, with that being said, all right. So brokers are the only person who are allowed to work with shippers. Dispatchers, no way, no shape, no form can you work with shippers. Okay. Now, this section here covers bona fide agents. Okay, this is speaking directly to dispatchers. Okay, bona fide agents are persons who are part of the normal organization of a motor carrier and perform duties under the carrier's direction, persuading to a pre-existing agreement. Okay, can anybody tell me what that pre-existing agreement is? What do we call that?
Dispatch agreement.
You're exactly right. That's called a dispatch agreement. It says it right here in section B of the statute. Okay, bona fide agents are persons who are part of the normal organization of a motor carrier and perform duties under the carrier's direction pursuant to a pre-existing agreement which provides for a continuing relationship. All right, that covers another thing that people always say. Well, dispatchers, if they want to keep doing work for the carrier, they got to get that dispatch agreement signed every time they find freight for the carrier. Have y'all heard that before? People saying that? Has anybody heard that before?
I haven't.
Okay, that is false. The statute tells you right there, it provides for a continuing relationship. So your dispatch agreement, all you have to do is get that carrier to sign it once. And now you are contracted with that carrier to find them freight for as long as they want to use you. Now, if at some point that carrier says, okay, I want to dissolve this, and they send you a letter, something in writing that says that they want to end that relationship, want to cancel that contract, then if you want to go back and do business with them, you got to do another contract. But as long as that doesn't happen, it tells you right here, provides for a continuing relationship, precluding the exercise of discretion on the part of the agent in allocating traffic between the carrier and others. Now, there's another phrase right here that lets you know that dispatching is legal. Okay, it is legal. It is not illegal like a lot of these truck drivers and a lot of people try to make out that dispatchers are not legal under the statute. The statute specifically addresses all things concerning the legality of dispatches. Okay, C, brokers or brokerage service is the arranging of transportation or the physical movement of a motor vehicle or of property. It can be performed on behalf of a motor carrier, consignor, or consignee. That's talking about brokerages, okay? Non-brokerage service is all other services, it's talking about dispatches now, all other services performed by a broker on behalf of a motor carrier, consignee, or consignee. Okay, so the statute, and I'm gonna look, this statute has not changed in 30 years. It hasn't changed in 30 years. This is the way it was written 30 years ago. It's the same terminology it is today. Now, for some odd reason, just about every other year, some truckers organization or some truckers group or some truckers union or whatever, they challenge the legality of dispatch. They try to get the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and DOT to basically outlaw dispatch. Okay, have they been successful? No, because every time they do it, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and DOT comes back with the exact same ruling. This back in 2022, they just had another challenge that was just resolved. And this time the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration decided, okay, well, we're going to clarify. Okay. In other words, we're going to dumb it down so everybody can understand it. They went through it line by line and said what dispatchers can do and what they cannot do. Some of the things that they clarified that dispatchers cannot do. Dispatchers cannot collect money for the carriers. Okay, there were a lot of dispatchers that put out there, we do all your paperwork, we do collections, we do billing, we do invoicing. Y'all seen that, right? Y'all seen that, right?
Yes.
They can't do that. They can't do it. If they are collecting, if they're doing collections, if the dispatcher is doing the invoicing to shippers, if they can't do any of that. They cannot do any of that. A dispatcher can send the broker the BOL and the signed BOL and all that stuff, but they cannot invoice that broker to get paid by that. And remember, the broker is really not the one paying the carrier. Okay, it's really the factory company. It's really the shipper. The broker is going through a factory company. The factory company is advancing the broker that money. Then the factory company is then collecting this money from the shipper on what's called a net 30 pay schedule or a net 60 or a net 90. That's how many days that the shipper has to pay their accounts out. Okay, so the broker is really not the one paying the carrier anyway. Okay, it's the shipper that pays everybody. The shipper pays everybody. Either they're doing it through a factory company or they're paying direct. Okay, they're either paying on a net 30, net 60, or net 90, okay, pay schedule, or they're going through a factory company and they're doing what's called quick pay, where the load gets factored, The factory company takes anywhere from 1.5% up to about 5%, depending on if you have recourse or non-recourse factory. And then the factory company gets their 5%. They go ahead and pay out everybody. They pay the they pay the carrier, they pay the broker. They can pay everybody except what? Factory companies cannot pay who?
Dispatcher.
They can't pay dispatcher. That's another clarification. There were instances where some factory companies were starting to pay dispatchers. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration said that's illegal. Can't do that. So there were some things that did get walked back that had been going on because everybody got so comfortable with dispatching. Okay, factory companies cannot pay dispatchers. We repeat that. Dispatchers cannot receive their cut from the factory company. They can only receive their cut from who?
The carrier.
The carrier. They can only get paid by the carrier. They can't get paid by the broker. They can't get paid by the shipper directly. They can't get paid by a factory company. They must get paid by the carrier. The only person, the only entity that a dispatcher can invoice is the carrier they have under contract. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I know there's some dispatch out there that's going to hit us there. What do you mean I can't get paid? No, you can't. You can't get paid by a factory company. Well, I had a factory. The factory company's wrong. They're doing wrong. And if you get caught, then I know what the fine is now. If dispatchers get caught violating any of these rules. You know, I think guess what the fine is?
Couple thousand.
10,000.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Not a couple. Now, it used to be like 2,500 to $3,000. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, in this last clarification, in this last challenge, they did up the fine for dispatchers who violate the statute, $10,000. Now, if you're caught repeatedly violating the statute, can anybody tell me what a statute is? What's a statute?
It's a law.
It's a law, right? Like if you go out here driving on the road right now, if you're driving with, you know, and you're driving without a license, you're violating what? Your state statute, right? Right?
Right.
If you get caught driving without a license 3 times within, I think it was within 5 years, is that what is that? That's a felony, right? Right?
Yeah, it is.
All right. If you commit a felony, where do you go?
Yeah, the jail.
You go to jail, right?
That's where you gotta go.
All right. Let me tell you how serious this is. Okay. Statutes are laws. DOT, those DOT officers, y'all think they carry them guns and badges just for show? Right? Why would a DOT officer carry handcuffs, gun and badges? Why would a DOT officer have handcuffs? What's the purpose of those handcuffs?
To arrest.
To arrest. Right? So if you break the law, which we determine as statutes are laws, if you continue to break a statute and it turns into a felony, what are you at risk? What are you at risk at?
Going to jail.
Going to jail. Now, a lot of y'all don't think about it as being that serious, but these statutes are laws. And if you break these laws, you are subject to arrest. Okay, not just a fine, but you are subject to be arrested if you are found that you continually break these statutes and you become what's called habitual. Y'all heard that term before, right? You become a habitual violator. DOT can charge you with a felony and come to your place of business or your home, slap them cuffs on you and take you to jail, and you got to post a bond and all that other stuff, just like you do in regular jail, and you got to wait to go to trial to get you a lawyer, whatever you got to do, and if you are found guilty, you will go to jail. Okay? It is that serious. A lot of these dispatch, they don't take it that way. They think it's a game, they think it's a joke, but keep playing with it. Okay? Keep playing with it. Keep doing stuff outside of the statute. You get caught enough times, you do a lot more than just pay a fine. You will lose your freedom, go to jail. Okay, now I hope everybody's has gotten a newfound respect for the statutes. Okay, does everybody now see how serious it is? Does everybody now have a better and newfound respect for this thing we call dispatch? Because does everybody see how serious this is now?
Yep.
Okay, because there's a lot of people out there who don't take it seriously. They think of this as a side hustle. I mean, they really do. They think of it as a side hustle, but it is very, very, very serious. All right, so that covers the statute and the legality of dispatch. Now, some other things you got to do to be legal as dispatch. You have to be registered with your state as a legal entity, which means you have to file for a EIN with the IRS. You go to irs.gov, you do that for free. Okay, you must file for your EIN number. If you file for an EIN number, you must also complete your articles of incorporation within your state or within a state. Now, you all do know you do not have to do your articles of incorporation in the state that you reside in. Does everybody know that?
Yeah, I had a question about that because I was thinking like about getting my LLC in a different state depending on if their taxes are better overall. I didn't know if that was legal or not.
To do what? File your
like if I wanted an
state?
LLC and I didn't want it in Georgia, I was thinking about maybe getting a PO box somewhere else. Are we allowed to do that?
You can file your LLC anywhere in the United States.
Okay.
So some of the ideal places to file is Wyoming.
Like, don't you need like a PO box or something from there?
Yeah, you got to have some type of mailing address, a PO box or something. Okay.
Okay, let me write this down. I need to write down these states. Yeah, Georgia's crazy.
Yeah. Now, you can file. Now, if you're gonna have a registered agent to represent you, you personally don't need an address there. Your resident agent does.
Okay, let me write that down. So resident agent needs.
Yeah, because like I go through Rocket Lawyer.
Needs.
Rocket Lawyer is a registered agent. So if you got a Rocket Lawyer account, it's like $39 a month. You can sign up for a premium Rocket Lawyer account, and then you can file your businesses through them in whatever state you want to file to. And then Rocket Lawyer will act as your resident agent because they have they have the ability to have because they're a national company, so they can be in all they can be a registered agent for every state. So you don't necessarily have to have an address yourself. Your registered agent must have a mailing address within that state. Okay.
Okay. So you said Wyoming? Which one?
Yeah, Wyoming is one of the best places to register your business, and here's why.
Why?
Here, let me show you here. Let me pull it up for you because I don't want to misquote it.
Man, you're awesome. Because I'm like, Georgia's killing us, man.
Best states to register.
States to register
an LLC or a business. The best, one of the best states is going to be Wyoming. I know this. Let's see here where it is here. Where is that? Trying to find it. Okay. Let me do it this way. Advantages of registering an LLC in Wyoming. In Wyoming. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Wyoming offers several enticing benefits for LLCs compared to most other states. No state corporate income tax. Wyoming is one of the only 2 states that does not levy a corporate income or gross receipts tax. Low fees. Wyoming LLC formation is cheaper than many other states. And the biggest reason really is these right here: anonymity and personal asset protection. Because just like every other state, you can't be anonymous as the person who filed the LLC. You have to make known that that you're connected with that business, your name, who you are, and that type of stuff, right? In Wyoming, you can remain anonymous. They only can have your business name, and your personal assets are protected. So if someone sues your business, they can't touch your assets. They can't touch your home, your cars, other stuff, your investments, stuff like that. In other states like Florida and California and some of these other states, you get sued. New York, if your business gets sued, they can come after your personal assets too. Like your real estate. In Wyoming, you can, they can't touch your real estate, they can't touch your car, they can't touch your assets, but they can't touch your personal assets. That's a big deal, right?
Absolutely.
That's a real big deal. On top of that, it's cheaper. And you can remain anonymous. All they can have access to, all they can know is your business information, your business name. Now, another thing, in Wyoming, you can have several different businesses, and one business gets sued, they can't touch your other business stuff. Can't touch your other business bank accounts, none of that stuff. Can't touch your personal bank account, can't touch it. They can only take what's in your business account if they sue you. That's a big plus, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, Wyoming doesn't have these high taxes like everybody else has. No state corporate income tax. That's real big. So when people always ask me what's the best state to incorporate in, I always tell them Wyoming. I've got 2 of my businesses incorporated in Wyoming. Got one incorporated here in Florida. Okay, but Wyoming is the best state to incorporate. And you can do it through Rocket Lawyer, and Rocket Lawyer can be your registered agent, so you don't have to have an address there in order to do it. Your registered agent has to have an address listed there. Now, if you just want to get you a physical mailbox there, yeah, you can. If that's what you want to do, but it's not necessary. All right, little helpful tip there. All right. So now let's move on to what type of equipment do you need to be a dispatcher? All right. All right. Can anybody tell me what do you need equipment-wise to be a dispatcher?
Computer, laptop, tablet, phone.
Yeah. It's very simple. Look, used to be back in the day, about 20, 25 to 30 years ago. All right. Well, as little as about 15 to 25 years ago, you needed in order to run a business, you needed to have invested somewhere close to $50,000. Y'all remember those days, right? You had to invest a lot of money. You had to have office space, you had to have all this equipment, you had to have, all types of stuff, man. Nowadays, you can run a business, like I started running my business from a homeless shelter. Y'all know my story. I started running my business from a homeless shelter. I didn't have no office space. I didn't have no home to run my business out of. I ran it from Starbucks, coffee shops, the public library, the park that had free Wi-Fi. That's where I ran my business from. At night, when I was in the shelter, I was on my computer, but the shelter had free Wi-Fi. Okay, that's where I started my business. That's when I started my first business from the homeless shelter. Okay, so technology has advanced to the point to where there's no excuse for anybody saying, I don't have enough money to start a business. I don't, right? Right? When I started my business, I started with $100. I bought a $60 used laptop from a pawn shop. And I bought a Boost. Y'all remember the Boost mobile phone? Unlimited talk, text, and web for $40. Y'all remember that? You buy the phone?
Yeah. I remember that part.
For $40. Yeah. That's how I started my first business. I was at the shelter. So really there is no real legitimate excuse for people saying, well, I want to start my dispatcher business, but I want to wait till the time is right. I want to do this. I want to take my money right. I want to do this, but I don't, I just don't, I don't have the money to kind of put it there right now. That's just your fear talk. Right? Right? That's just your fear. It doesn't take much nowadays. It really doesn't. Okay.
I'm trying to wait to go to the class like 3 times, like 3 cycles, because I remember you told us to watch all the videos like 3 times.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like do that.
Yeah. Look, all you need now to be to start your dispatch firm. Okay. First of all, you do have to be registered with the state as a legal entity. Now, depending on where you register at, like in Wyoming, it's like $100, $125, pretty cheap there. At most, some places it runs up maybe $400, $450. Okay, so anywhere between $100 and $450 to register your business as a legal entity, either as a LLC, a sole proprietorship, corporation, a C corp, S corp, or something of that nature. Okay, or partnership. All right. You're also going to need the EIN number is free. Tax ID number, that's free, of course. And you're gonna need some type of computer. You're gonna need, laptop, desktop, all in one, something of that nature. I would start off with a laptop. I would not, do not, let me say this again. Do not attempt to run a dispatch firm from your cell phone, or do not attempt to run it from a tablet, okay? You're gonna find that's gonna be it's gonna be really impossible to do so. Because as you're looking at load boards, you got another screen, got a couple of screens up, this and that. There's a whole lot of stuff you got to be doing that you need to be online to where you can do it and be able to go seamlessly from one to the other. If you're trying to dispatch on your phone and you're on the phone talking to somebody and you're trying to look up loads on the phone at the same time, that is not going to work. Okay? That's not going to work. Don't even try it. Don't try it. Just get yourself a nice refurbished laptop and make sure it has at least 1 terabyte of space, of storage space. Okay, as you all can see here, they are not that expensive anymore. Okay, they're really not that expensive. You're looking for a refurbished laptop. As you can see here, I can click here where it says up to $250 if you want to stay real cheap. Look at this clearance, 14-inch. The Lenovo laptop, $79 refurbished. HP 11 G4 Celeron, 16 gigabyte, 4 gigabytes, $49 refurbished. Y'all see that? I mean, you find deals like this online every day, all day. $224 if you want to get one that's a little bit uppity. $59, $69, $139. $69, $129, $99, $199. So look, there really is no excuse. $40. There really is no excuse for people saying, well, I don't have the money to get a laptop. Come on, man, you all blow $100 a week on what? Nothing, right? right? Everybody here blows at least $100 a week.
That's true.
I mean, I'm being dead serious. You're either blowing it on cigarettes, you're blowing it on something you're drinking, you're blowing it on, what's these things now? The vapes, you're blowing it on candy, you're blowing it on chips, you're blowing it on junk food, you're blowing it on,
restaurants.
Restaurants. I mean, come on, fast food. You blow $100 a week on lottery. You ain't gonna never win that. But you blow $100 on it, right? So, but take that little money, invest it in yourself. That's gonna make you some money. Okay, it's not that expensive. You get you a nice, starter laptop. This is all you need to start your dispatching business. $59, $69, $49. These are perfectly good laptops. They're refurbished. You don't need a brand new one. You don't need a brand new one. It's just like on here, see all these laptops are on here for sale right now. So a lot of great deals that you can go and just go to Google and search refurbished laptop and hit that shopping thing right there, and then just shop on your nice little laptop. Okay, pay for it.
Yeah, what monitors do you prefer us to have? Like a monitor?
Well, that's what we're getting to. But first, I want to let y'all know about the laptop. All right. Your next step up, if you want to go a little bit, if you are not, if you got a stable place to run your business from, and because laptops for those people who are mobile, like myself, like when I was homeless, I used a laptop because I was, didn't have a place to stay, didn't have any place of my own, so I was always, either moving because I couldn't keep a regular computer at the shelter. I had to have a laptop, right? So this is perfect for people who are not either in their own place or on the move or whatever the case may be, and for people who can't afford to have something that's sitting in one place all the time. So this is perfect for those types of people. Okay. Now, if you want to look in something that's a little bit more stable, you're gonna look at what I always say: go for what's called an all-in-one computer. Okay. Look for an all-in-one. That's what I'm on right now. I'm on my all-in-one. My laptop is in the other room that was giving me problems. And I tried to get onto it. I don't know what's happening. It just, I got to put it in the shop again. But I'm on my all-in-one right now. Okay. This is an all-in-one. All right. This is basically the one that I'm on right now. Where is it? I'll show you all the one that I'm on right now. The one that I'm on right now, and I didn't pay this much for it. What is this? This is a HP. Yeah, this is the HP all-in-one. Let me find it here. Not that one. That's a real nice one. That's not what I'm on right now. I'm on. Okay, this is the exact one I'm on right now. Y'all see that? Matter of fact, there's my keypad, that white keypad, and here's my white mouse. Right? That's the exact one I'm on. Okay, that's the exact one that I'm on right now. And yeah, I got it from Office Depot, as a matter of fact. Like I said, you get it for $379. Not very expensive. Not very expensive. It's decent. It's all in one. It's great it gives you a nice big screen. I can put different screens up and stuff like that. It's a nice big screen. You don't have any type of base, computer base. All of it is right in here. See my webcam. There's a webcam. It's right up here at top. Pulls out, goes in. This is the exact same one that I'm on right now. Okay, so that's what this is. Okay, and that's called an all-in-one. Really nice to have. Nice webcam, has nice sound. Everything's all in one, and that's why they call it an all-in-one. Things right there. This one has a wireless, keyboard, and this one has a wireless mouse. Make sure I keep my batteries in. And keep it going. So, $379. Not very expensive. You can get some for here. Here's some here. $299. You can get some refurbished. You can go and look for refurbished ones. Look for refurbished all-in-one computers. They're even cheaper. Okay. You can get some refurbished ones. Here's one for $179. This is a nice one here. A nice refurbished on eBay for $179. Y'all see this thing? That's nice. Don't y'all think that's nice? Yeah. Doesn't even cost that much. Now, this is not a 2-screen. That's just one screen. They're showing you what it looks like on from each side. but it's still just $179. Okay. Now, now this one, I don't like this one because it has a little base thing in the middle. That's not really an all-in-one. I don't know why they put that up there. That's not really an all-in-one. An all-in-one is one that doesn't have the base. It just has just this. Okay, these are the ones that are pretty nice. There's one for $199. I'm not a big fan of Apple. Okay, let me let y'all know something. These Google Chromebooks and the Apple products, I'm not a huge fan of them. And here's the reason why. Especially with the Apples. They're on a separate operating system. Okay. Most carriers, truck drivers, and anybody else out there, they are operating on a Windows system, right? Most of the world is operating on Windows. Okay. Apple works on their own system, and it's not always compatible with stuff that comes from Windows. So if you're sending a carrier a dispatch agreement, but it was created in the Apple format from their operating system, you try to send it to somebody who has a Windows operating system, they're going to have trouble pulling it up in the form that it was supposed to be pulled up in. You're also going to have trouble sending you stuff back, okay? Because Apple doesn't really work well with everybody else's system. They're great when you're working, iPhone to iPhone, Apple to Apple, stuff like that. I mean, they're great. But when you try to, work in conjunction with someone else who has a different type of operating system, then you come into some problems. Google, Chromes, Chromebooks. I don't like them either. They have their own security protocols. So a lot of times you're receiving stuff. That's why I don't like Gmail. I think Gmail is the worst because you will send stuff to someone who has a Gmail account and they'll swear that they didn't get it. You just sent it. And they'll be looking for it for days. And then all of a sudden, one day it'll just pop up. There it is. Oh, I see it now. But you looked all over the place for it and it wasn't there. I know because I had a Gmail account back in the day and I used to catch hell trying to find stuff that people have sent me and they say, well, Calvin, I know I sent it to you. It's right here. Everybody what's called it. I sent at this time, this date, this thing. Didn't bounce back. And I'm looking all through Gmail. I'm looking at my spam. I'm looking at my regular mail. I'm looking at my archives. I'm looking everywhere. Gmail has a security protocol where if their operating system determines that what's coming to you isn't something that you would normally get, or for something that you haven't cleared or they cleared for the system, they put it in what's called a ghost file. It goes to like a ghost file. It's not in your spam, it's not in your archives, but it's not in your inbox either. It's just held out there in cyberspace. And then you keep looking for it, you keep typing in what it is or what it is after typing it in so many times, finally Gmail will say, oh, you probably need this, and then they'll let you see it. That's the best way I can explain it. There's no other way that I can explain it. But they have this, I call it a ghost file, where it just goes to a lost file, and then you keep sending it. After you send it a few times, then all of a sudden it pops up. Okay? So, and as you know, that's not going to work if you're trying to dispatch someone freight or if you're trying to get something signed. You need that done right away, right? You don't have time for that. So do yourself a favor. Whatever you get something that has a Windows operating system. Okay? Does everybody understand that? Hello? Did everybody get that?
Yes.
Okay, make sure you get something that has a Windows operating system. All right. Now, if you really want to step up, this is what I have in the man cave where I do a lot of my work. This is what I have in the man cave. They're called wraparound screens. Something like this right here. Either this, this, this. This is what I have in my man cave, where I do most of my work. This is where I do most of the work, during the day when I'm booking freight. And now that we're running the two brokerage firms, I do a lot of work in there because I can have 3, 4, sometimes 5 screens up at one time. Like you see here, I can have all these different screens up. Hold up. Go. Yeah. All right. This is what I have out there in the man cave. I can have a whole bunch of different screens up, as you can see, and it's really neat. Something like this. But if you can afford it, I mean, this is ideal for this type of business because you can see how it stretches out. You can have like screens up top. You have a bigger screen down at the bottom. You have a screen over here on the side. You can do all types of stuff with this. Okay, y'all see this right here? You can do all types of stuff. You can have a whole bunch of different screens up, and you can do a lot of things at one time. You can literally be focused on a lot of things at one time. You have this little section over here where you got 15 different, screens up, different browsers. Over here, you got 1, 2, 3 browsers, 4 browsers at the top. And you got a bunch of mini stuff down here at the bottom. You can do a whole lot of stuff. I mean, you can really it's really good for if you're dispatching or brokering freight and you have a lot of different clients. Like now we're doing brokering and we have 2 brokerage firms that we're running right now that we have in a contract. So I need to be on this during the daytime, most of the time during the day. And when I do my training for my people who are coming into these brokerage firms, like what's coming up next week, we have a guaranteed 2-week career placement training for the dispatchers. People who register for that, we'll be starting that on Monday. So we got a 2-week course that we'll be doing for the next 2 weeks, Monday through Friday. And we have a day course and a night course. So we won't have our dispatch training next Thursday or Thursday after next. After that, we'll have it. And then, but we have that just about every, there's going to be 2 weeks out of each month that we're not going to be having dispatch training because we have the night courses that we have for people who attend the night course. Now, there's some, I may be able to work it out to where I can't do it because I think Jen, my VP of operations, she's going to be taking over some of the night courses that I probably have her do the Thursday night course. So she can do that she can do that Thursday night course that I can do with you all on Thursday nights to do my dispatch training. So we'll probably do it that way. So that way we can still accommodate both platforms. All right. But these are kind of expensive. They're still kind of expensive. I was hoping they had came down a little bit. Here's one right here that's like $179 you get from Walmart. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's actually a pretty good price. Let me see what type of, but it's on a 27-inch screen though, but that's still pretty good for a 27-inch, wraparound screen. So that's still pretty good. It still gives you pretty good, size. The one I have out in the man cave, I think it's a 42-inch or 48-inch because it stretches way out. So it's, gives you a nice big wingspan, but this is still pretty good. That's a good price for that type of screen, for that type of for this type of use. Okay, so you can find them. They're not, you don't have to get one like what I paid for that one. I paid about $1,500 for that doggone thing. You don't have to pay that for them. You have those now where you can get these computers that have these nice wraparound screens. Okay. All right. So that's the equipment. And then a phone. You got your a decent phone. What I recommend, I'll tell y'all on what I recommend for your phone service. Y'all don't think I'm crazy, but I've been rocking with them for 7 years now. Straight Talk. I've been rocking with Straight Talk for 7 years now. okay? And I have the Straight Talk iPhone. I've been rocking with Straight Talk on my phone for about 7 years, and they're not that expensive. I know a lot of people go out there and they see iPhones, like people be paying what, $1,000 for a Debbie's iPhone or $2,400 for a doggone iPhone. No, you can get them through Straight Talk, and they're pretty inexpensive. Okay, you can get them, and if you want to get a Samsung or whatever, they're pretty inexpensive through Straight Talk. You get some pretty nice, inexpensive phones, you know. But I like Straight Talk because I don't have any drop service. They pick up everywhere I go. I made the mistake and switched to AT&T because I wanted to get the new iPhone. And AT&T said if I switched to them, they would give it to me for free. It was that $1,000 iPhone. I made the mistake, switched over to AT&T, and I had drop calls everywhere. And I was paying more money per month. I was paying like for 2 AT&T phones, it was for myself and my wife at the time. And I was paying like $179 per month, right? For both phones, for both services. But through Straight Talk, I was just paying $55 per phone, unlimited talks, text, and web, you know, $59 per phone. I mean, $55 per phone, and pretty much the same iPhone, right? So I switched back. I did. I switched back in a hurry. I said, this ain't working because I'm having drop calls. I've been on the phone with clients. I call with the doop, 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 drop. Like, you know, supposedly those supposed to be a better service, but I switched back to Straight Talk. Okay. That's what I recommend. I don't have any problems with them. You know, they got great coverage. So they work pretty good. So, you know, doesn't cost you a whole lot. They got the Straight Talk plans. You know, anything from, you can get a Straight Talk plan for $40 a month. I recommend the $55 one. That's the one that I have. Is the Straight Talk everything. There's another one that's $60 a month, which gives you high speed, you know, unlimited high speed internet. But $55 one is enough for me because I get like so many gigabytes of high speed that I barely even use it all. Why? Because I'm always connected to my Wi-Fi anyway. So I don't have to use my phone's internet a whole lot. So that's why I have it. But it's really, really nice. Okay. So a decent phone, decent computer, that's the equipment you need. Now, some of you are probably saying, well, Kevin, how do I send documents and sign stuff, this and that? Several things you can sign up with. You can sign up with what's called DocuSign. You can sign up with what's called DocuSign. All right. Oh, my bad. It's the wrong thing here. DocuSign, they got a 30-day free trial. I think DocuSign is like, what's DocuSign pricing? What's DocuSign? Where you can do e-signatures, you know, online, plans and pricing. Well, people just don't show their pricing. Don't you hate when people make you jump through hoops just to see the pricing? Used to be a time you just go to pricing and it just tells you what the price is. Now you got to jump through hoops. You go through the pricing. Signatures, okay. But signatures, just to do, you know, basic signature, that's all you're gonna need it for, just to do signatures and stuff like that. There we go. Personal, $10 a month. $120 bill annually. 5 envelopes per month, reusable. What is this? Signatures pricing plan. Yeah. $25 a month. Shared templates, you know. Basically what this is you're able to send stuff and people can just click on it and sign it, you know, right there, you know, without having to actually physically sign a piece of paper. You can send them, you know, an electronic document, like you send like a Word or PDF or whatever, they can sign it right there on their phone, or on their computer, or whatever the case may be. So you can get that. I have Rocket Lawyer. Rocket Lawyer is who I have. ROCK. This is who I have, Rocket Lawyer. And I can do my signatures and stuff right here. You can see here's my Rocket Lawyer account. And I have all my, and the reason why I like Rocket Lawyer is because I can write contracts and stuff in Rocket Lawyer. I can do contracts, all my contracts, and everything. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of different, all the contracts, my trademark, my vehicle lease contracts, my corporate management contracts, all these contracts, that I've done, my rental contracts, my rental property, my lease properties, right here, my Florida lease agreements and stuff, my lease properties and stuff that I have. I do all my contracts right here in Rocket Lawyer, okay? And when I send it to people, all they gotta do is click on it, they can sign it right there on the computer, and it comes back to my Rocket Lawyer account, okay? So, and it's only on $39 a month. And they act as my registered agent as well too for my businesses. So I can do my articles of incorporation file for business license all through Rocket Lawyer. Now they do charge you a fee, an extra fee to file for business license stuff, but it's about the same as if you went and did it yourself. So I filed for a business here in Florida one time, and I did it myself. And Florida cost me $275. I did it through Rocket Lawyer. You have to worry about the headache of doing all this stuff myself. They did it for me for $325. So it was like $50 more money, right? Which was worth it, right? Worth for me not have to deal with it, right? So I use Rocket Lawyer for everything. Make documents, sign documents, add documents. They'll even do your taxes for you. If you need to have your taxes done. You start a business, ask a lawyer. At any point in time, I got a lawyer at my fingertips. I can just go in there and type in the question, hey, and they'll give me an answer. Okay, so it's a great thing to have. I like this little ask a lawyer because it's like a nice little like a way to get stuff that you have questions about. You can ask a lawyer, and the lawyer will set you straight. Okay, so that's why I use Rocket Lawyer. All right. That's it on legalities, equipment needed. Now, the other thing that you're going to need, which is very important, one of the most important things that you're going to need as a dispatcher is you're going to have an entrepreneur's mindset. And can anybody tell me what I mean by that? Can anybody tell me what I mean by that? Very important that you have the mindset of an entrepreneur.
You should have a mindset on running your own business per se.
Yeah, that too. But what I mean by that is this. Most of you have been working for someone or working in jobs, in regular traditional types of jobs, and you got comfortable. You got comfortable with doing a set thing, and getting paid a set salary, a set hourly pay. You don't have to do any more than what you are paid to do or whatever this and that, and you get this amount of pay and that's that. As an entrepreneur, you really got to be mindful of that 3 feet from gold. Anybody know what I mean by 3 feet from gold? A lot of times you're going to be doing a lot of work and you're not going to be seeing the rewards from it right away. But you're putting things in place. You're setting yourself up. You're positioning yourself. A lot of times when people start doing this for the first time and they're putting things in place, they're positioning themselves, they're doing this work. They're doing a lot of work, but they're not really seeing the rewards from it yet. They're not making any money from it, but they're setting themselves up. A lot of times people will get to a certain point and say, I'm tired, I can't do this no more. And then they'll walk away from it. But what they don't realize, they were just 3 feet from gold. All they had to do was just do a few more things, and then all of a sudden, everything starts clicking, and then the reward starts coming in. Y'all have seen that little meme where the guy is digging, right? He's digging, and he gets about 3 feet, Well, that's actually from a true story. That's and if you ever watched this movie, Think and Grow Rich, or if you read the book Think and Grow Rich, I recommend y'all watch that movie. It was on YouTube and everything. Great movie. Great movie. I watch it at least once a month. I'll be honest with you. It's like a documentary, but it's based on the book Think and Grow Rich that was written back in 1940 something, whatever it should be. But that book changed my life. The book changed my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. I read that book right when I first became homeless, and that's what set me on the path of where I am now. Okay, and then they came out with a modernized movie version of the book in 2020. Okay, right at the height of the pandemic, and I watched that movie, and it was like, on my all-time best favorite things to watch over and over and over again. But there's a part in the book and in the movie where it tells the story of a real father and son that was from Missouri, and they heard about the California gold rush back in the 1890s or something, back in the cowboy days. Okay, there was a gold rush in California, the California gold rush. Everybody was finding gold, and they had gold deposits, and people would basically buy tracts of land called gold deposit. They have gold deposit contracts. So they sold their business. They had but they used to make suits. They were what's what I'm talking about? Not a seamstress, but they were a tailor. They had a tailor business in Missouri. It was very successful, but they sold their business, took all their money, and they bought a gold deposit rights on this area that's supposed to, had a lot of gold on it, right? So they didn't know anything about, mining. They didn't know anything about it, but they bought all their stuff, picks, the rail things, stuff. They invested in digging the mines and had little train track things down there with the carts and stuff. And so they were digging for gold. After about a year and a half, they had been digging, looking for gold, and they didn't find anything. They found little small bits here and there, but they didn't find anything of real substantial to really warrant what they had invested in. So they pretty much gave up on it, and they sold their gold deposits to another guy, right? The other guy who bought it from them, he came in, he hired a gold examiner expert or an excavator. He hired this guy who was an expert at excavating and doing geological surveys. The guy did the geological surveys and did his examination of the gold deposit area. And the guy told him, look, if you continue digging from where they left off at, if you dig just 3 more feet, you'll hit the biggest gold deposit California has ever seen. And sure enough, that's what happened. 3 more feet, and he was a multi-millionaire. Back then, that's like being a billionaire now. With the amount of gold that he found in today's term will make him a billionaire. He became one of the richest men in the country from that gold deposit. And those guys were just 3 feet from gold. True story. They were just 3 feet from gold. So that's where this meme comes from. Here, I'm gonna show it to y'all because you see it all the time. That's where this comes from. There's a meme called 3 feet from gold. Or there's great saying. It's called 3 feet from gold. It's right here, 3 feet from gold. Here's the story. It's all different type of stuff about it. But if you look it up, it's actually a book called 3 Feet from Gold. And here's the there's the little meme of it. He was digging. He got just right there, and there's all them diamonds right there. He gave up and walked away. 3 feet from gold. Okay. But there's a moral to that. The moral is never give up. okay? Especially after you put a lot into something. Here, in my experience, here's what I found out. In my experience. Can anyone tell me, how do you know when you're close to realizing your dream or your goal is at hand, or whatever you've been striving for is about to come? I was about to come through for you. How do you know that? Can anybody tell me? How do you know that? Anybody? You ever heard the saying, it's always darkest before the dawn? Y'all ever heard that?
Yeah, I heard that. Yep. That's how it is.
Yeah. The meaning behind that is this. When everything seems to be going bad, everything seems to be going against you, seems like everything in the world is going wrong, that's when you know you're right there at your reward, at your blessing. You're right. It's literally right there. Because it all depends on what you believe. Because I believe that I'm a very spiritual person. Okay, I'm very, and this has always worked out great for me. I'm a very spiritual person. And I've always been a believer that God puts you on the path that you're supposed to be on. And he tells you that that path is going to yield you a big reward. But the closer you get to that reward, the more the devil tries to convince you that it's not real. It's not for you. So throwing all types of obstacles in your way, right? And a lot of people, when they start getting the obstacles and the doubt, they say, I'm wasting my time. They let the devil convince them that it's not real. But in my experience, that's when I know I'm about to hit a breakthrough. You don't think that when I became homeless, that I didn't feel like, this is crazy. I'm homeless. I don't have a place to lay my head. I have no money. I have this and that. I'm at the bottom. When everybody else is telling me, this is not the right time to start a business, being homeless, right? I was at the worst thing that could ever happen. I was going through the worst time in my life. But guess what? I started my business from the homeless shelter, and when it seemed like everything was going against me, like all of a sudden, boom, there was a breakthrough, and then I never looked back. Never looked back. Because I pushed through all that hard time. I pushed through all the times of, all the troubled times. You gotta find a way to push through that and put all the negativity stuff out your mind. Everybody's telling you it can't be done, it can't be done. Don't listen to those people. Because you know it can't be done because people are doing it, right? Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Are those people any better than you?
Nope.
Do you think that they've always hit pay dirt every time? No. They experience trouble just like you experience trouble. The only difference is they don't give up. They keep pushing. I'm gonna tell you all the truest thing that you've ever heard in your life. Okay? Enthusiasm and persistence will yield you greater success than skill or knowledge ever will. Did y'all hear what I said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Enthusiasm and persistence and perseverance will yield you greater success than skill or knowledge could ever bring to you. You could be dumb as a rock about a certain business, not know anything about nothing. But if you are persistent and you are enthused and you are able to persevere through all of the bad and difficult times and everybody telling you no, that would gain you more success than perfect point perfect point. Miss Connie Turner, she one of our recent graduates came on, and she's working with us on the Hollow Board logistics. She's also one of our consultants. Didn't know anything about trucking, didn't know anything about the brokering business, didn't know anything about sales, nothing this and that. She left her corporate job to basically come home and spend time with her husband. Her husband, who had been in trucking for a long time and everything, he became ill and basically couldn't go out and work anymore. And so, but she wanted to be close to him to help him through his his hard times and stuff. So she left her corporate job, and she called me up and said, "Calvin, I want to be one of your consultants." She paid for the $1,500 affiliateship and became a consultant with our consulting firm. And now she is working in one of the brokerage firms that we manage. And she told me, "I don't know nothing about this. So you gotta teach me. I know nothing about this." So she went through our training and we taught her this and that. And man, she is burning it. She's tearing it up. She is tearing it up. It seems like for the last 5 days, she's only been doing this now for about 2.5 to 3 weeks. For the last 5 days, she's been signing up a shipper every day. Seriously. She's got like 4 shippers already signed up. She signed up one of the biggest trucking company contracts that we have. She signed up a Landstar agency that gives us 97,000 trucks to run our customers' freight. Currently, she's working to deal with a company that has $40-some billion in revenue last year to get us signed up with them, a shipper that did $49 billion in revenue last year. They've got literally 100 locations scattered across the United States, Mexico, and in Canada. And if you ask me, she's going to close them. She is going to close them. Why? Not because she knows more than everybody, because she knows less than everybody else does. But she is excited. She's enthused. Every time I talk to her, she's like, "I'm ready. I don't know what I'm going to say to him, but I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready." Right? So she gets on the phone with these people, and these people, they are infected by her enthusiasm. They are literally infected by her enthusiasm. They realize that she doesn't know much about what she's doing, but she's so excited that they're excited for her. That's what we mean by enthusiasm and persistence will yield you greater success than skill or knowledge could ever hope to. So she is literally setting herself up for a 7-figure a year income, because she's going to get a percentage of every brokerage fee from every load that gets booked from the shippers that she has onboarded with the company. And she's going to get a percent. She's going to get a percentage of the brokerage fee for every truck out of those 97,000 trucks that runs a load from the brokerage firm every time they run a load. Because we pay residual compensation. Do the job once and keep getting paid. Get paid continuously after the job is done. After the work is done, you still get paid. That's what residual income is. It's passive income. We're the only brokerage firm out there that has that type of compensation plan, has a passive income compensation plan. Okay, so she is just so excited, and that's how she's holding shipping. And that's one of the hardest things to do in this industry, is to get shippers to agree to onboard with a brokerage firm. That's one of the hardest things to do. It's easy to close truck companies, but it is difficult to close shippers, and she is doing very well at it, and she really doesn't know what she's doing. She's just excited. That's all it is. It's just her sheer enthusiasm and her excitement and her willingness to talk to people and not be afraid to talk to people. Crazy, right? But that's all it takes. That's all it takes. So I say to you all in closing tonight, be enthused about what you're doing. If you're on the phone with the carrier, owner operator, you're trying to convince them to let you be there, let them contract you to be their dispatcher. If you're on the phone with them and you sound like you're a beat dead horse, guess what? You're a beat dead horse, right? But if you are enthusiastic, you're excited about what you're doing, and when you start speaking to them, they get caught up in that excitement. And just on your enthusiasm alone, they're about to look, you don't know, you don't know jack squat about what you're talking about, but you're excited, so I'm gonna give you a shot. That's how it happens a lot. You have to be enthused about what you're doing. All right? Be enthused about what you're doing. All right. Any questions, real quick, before we go? Let me check with my YouTube people. See what we got over here. We got one person. Can a carrier work directly with a shipper? Nope. We've already answered that. Carrier cannot work directly. Yeah, I'm sorry. A carrier can work directly with a shipper. A dispatcher can't work directly with a shipper. Now, carriers can work directly with a shipper. Now, the question is, will shippers work directly with a carrier? That's the real question. Not can a carrier work directly with a shipper, but can a will a shipper work directly with a carrier? Chances are no, unless they are a very large carrier. Okay? If they're a fleet that has 100 or more trucks, then a shipper will work with you. If you don't have a whole bunch of trucks in your carrier group, shippers are not really wanting to work with you because it's, they're looking for people who have the capacity to move a large amount of their freight, not one load here and there at a time. So these owner operators that tell you, well, I like to work directly with shippers, I guarantee you they don't have a whole lot of direct shipper contracts, or they're not working with a very large shipper. They're working with some little small mom and pop, operation, whatever the case may be. And that's fine. That's fine. But if you're a carrier, you're trying to work with the D.R. Horton or one of these other big firms that has a $20 billion to $20 billion in revenue, and you're trying to move some of their freight, and you come to them and say, I want to work directly with you, and say, well, how many trucks do you have in your fleet? Oh, it's just me. Nah, no thank you. That's why shippers like to work. That's why shippers do work with brokers, because brokers usually have access to what? A lot of trucks. Like we just signed on a Landstar agent that gives us access to 97,000 trucks. So now we got well over 100,000 trucks. So we go to shipper and say, Mr. Shipper, we can definitely handle your volume because we have access to more than 100,000. So we have secured contracts that gives us the use of more than 100,000 trucks to run your freight. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. All right. Good question. Thank you for asking that, Ms. Yulanka Jackson. Asked that question on YouTube. Thank you. All right. Do we have any questions from any of our people here?
So no training for the next 2 weeks?
Maybe not. I've got to get with Jen to see if she can take over one night of the guaranteed career placement training that we have for the next 2 weeks from about 7 to 9 p.m. Because we have a day class that goes from 9 to 3 with an hour break in between. And we have a night class from 7 to 9 for those people who miss the day course. So we have night course options. So I have to check and see with her. I'll let you all know though by no later than by Sunday. I'll let you all know. So we start those courses up on Monday, but I'll let you all know by Sunday. I'll put some out on Facebook and I'll put it out in the groups and stuff and all over the place. So just kind of look for it. And I'll let y'all know. But as of right now, no Thursday night training for the next 2 weeks. As of right now, that may change, but as of right now, no Thursday night training for the next 2 weeks. All right. Look, everybody, I thank you all. I appreciate y'all for joining me here again for our How to Dispatch training. And I thank you all again. Definitely, we'll be back, if not within the next 2 weeks, but 2 weeks from now, we will be back with the How to Dispatch training where we'll pick up on locating carriers. Okay. locating your carriers, where to go to find your carriers and things like that, how to use your load boards and stuff to find carriers, how to use some of our back office tools and resources to find carriers. All right, thank you all. I appreciate every last one of you all. For those of you out there who are looking for a job with a freight brokerage firm, we are hiring. We have 2 freight brokerage firms that we are running right now: Spirit Logistics and Hauler Board Logistics. Spirit Logistics and Hauler Board Logistics. Let me show you all what those 2 firms look like. Right now, we are running 2 brokerage firms, Spirit Logistics and Hauler Board Logistics. This is one brokerage firm, which is Spirits. This is Spirits Logistics. This is a brokerage firm that we are managing right now. We're doing the recruiting, hiring, and training, of all their salespeople. This is Spirits Logistics. Now, we don't run the day-to-day operations of this brokerage firm. We just do the recruit. We recruit, hire, and train under salespeople. We're in charge of training their salespeople. Okay. We have ongoing training with the salespeople every single week. All of the salespeople from all the brokerage firms that we manage are members of a private Facebook sales group that we have. You can only become a member of the sales group if you are an employee of one of these brokerage firms. So don't try to get into this sales group, because you can't get into it if you're not an employee of the brokerage firm. It's called RBBS Corporate Sales Team, but you must be an employee of one of the brokerage firms that we manage. This is the corporate sales team that we have. Are you ready to make 7 figures? RBBS Corporate Sales Team. This is our corporate sales team for the people who are working within the brokerage firms that we manage. We share a lot of stuff on here. There's a lot of great stuff. We talk about people who are doing very well, like Miss Cuddy, Turner Cuddy, got another one. She got another one. She signed up another shipper. She's doing extremely well. Here she is. When she signed up another one, Carter Turner is making the most of her Hauler Board Logistics career opportunity. Congratulations are again in order, as she has just onboarded Hauler Board Logistics first shipper. That's when she onboarded the first shipper. Then she did another one right after that. Then she did another one yesterday, and she did another one this morning. So she's on a roll. She is on a roll. Before that, she signed up a trucking company that gave us access to 97,000 trucks. Let's show you right here. That I'm gonna show you what the thing that we put out on her when she did that. But we got a lot of great salespeople that are doing a lot of great things. People are doing some, they're making some moves with the brokerage firms and things that we're managing. They're doing extremely well. Got a lot of stuff to go through. But anyway, but that's one of the brokerage firms that we manage, Spirit Logistics. The other brokerage firm, the one that we are running the day-to-day operations of, I am the COO of this brokerage firm. Ms. Jen Williams is my VP of operations. They have put us in charge of running this brokerage firm from head to toe. The owners have nothing to do with running the firm. They put everything in our capable hands, and all they do is sit back and just collect their dividend checks. So they let us run the whole show. When we take over a brokerage firm that like this, and we're running it from, on the whole thing, part of our contract is we will build them a website. This website was built in 7 days. Okay, I am very good at building websites. I used to have my own little web builders, my website company, but I used to build websites myself. I built this website in 7 days, believe it or not. 7 days. That's right. I built this website in 7 days. So when we take over a firm, if you are a brokerage firm out there and you have been doing very well and you need someone to come in and take over your brokerage firm and manage it correctly and get it to where it's profitable, reach out to us, RBBS LLC Corporate Consulting for Freight Brokerage Startups. This is what we do. We run freight brokerage firms. We make sure that your brokerage firm is profitable. We recruit, hire, and train massive sales teams. We hire on average about 30 to 40 new salespeople every single month to get your brokerage firm up to where it needs to be, so that you are making money. As you can see here, we got a pretty nice sales team here with this brokerage firm. This is our sales staff that we have with this brokerage firm. We've got a pretty nice sales team, And I'm interviewed this weekend with about 40 more salespeople this weekend that I have interviews with people who have a book of business. And we've got the people who are taking our guaranteed career placement course for the next 2 weeks. When they complete that course, they'll be automatically hired to this brokerage firm. And we have another group who's taking the brokers thing next month, and they'll be hired to these 2 brokerage firms too. But this is the brokerage firm that we're currently hiring for, that we're currently placing people in when they take our guaranteed career placement. Now, if you don't have to take the course to work for this brokerage firm, but if you don't take the course, you got to have a book of business. Okay, a book of business means you got to have shippers who are ready to onboard with the brokerage firm. Okay, if you don't have a book of business, the only other way to get into brokerage firms that we manage, you must take our 2-week career placement training. So you must take it, and you must take that at your own expense. Okay, you must take it. You must take it at your own expense. But when you complete that course, you are guaranteed a position with the brokerage firm that we manage and run. We have 8 more brokerage firms who are slated to contract with us by midsummer. They are just getting their bonds and stuff in place, making sure they got everything they need to be a legit and bona fide brokerage firm. Once they get all that in place, they're going to go ahead and contract with us for us to take over and run their firms. And when we take over and run the firm, it's our consultants are the ones who are in charge of running those firms. Miss Angela Rozier, she's one of our senior consultants. Miss Sharit Hyatt, she's another senior consultant. Jen Williams is another senior consultant. She's our most senior consultant. And we have Miss Connie Turner, who just came on. Well, that's what I'm telling you all about right now. That's her right there. She's one of our junior consultants, and she is tearing it up. That's Miss Connie Turner right there. She is come on, and she is really lighting it up. I mean, it's crazy. and she didn't know anything about this business before she came in. So there you have it. That's who we are. That's what we're doing. If you want to know more about what we do and how we do it, this is the About Us page right here for this particular brokerage firm. And of course, scroll down here, it tells you a little bit about who we are as a consulting firm. The RBBS LLC Corporate Consulting. RBBS LLC has a background in freight brokerage firm operations, auto haul operations, logistics, and freight industry, executive level brokerage firm management, executive recruiting, freight broker training, corporate growth strategy, dynamic compensation, stability strategies, executive leadership coaching, sales, marketing, social media marketing strategies, strategic corporate expansion. We serve as corporate management for the day-to-day operations of haulable logistics and other brokerage firms that we manage, to include the implementation of national recruitment campaigns, training of executives and agents, implementation of performance-based residual compensation. Gotta love that. Enhancement of revenue, increasing productivity and efficiency. That's what we do. And you see here we have 2 locations for this brokerage firm, the 2 corporate offices. One is in Jacksonville, Florida, or Orange Park, Florida, and the other one is here in Tallahassee, which is right here in Tallahassee, where we're running this thing from right here. There we are. The owners are Ms. Antoinette Foss and Ms. Danielle Dawkins. Those are the owners. Chief Operations Officer is myself. Jen Williams is my VP of Operations for this particular brokerage firm. All right, so that's what we're doing on that level. As I told you all, when we started this about a year and a half, I told you all we was going to find a way to offer guaranteed career placement. We was going to find a way to fill a huge niche within the industry that no one else had even touched. So that's what we did. we found a way to offer guaranteed, to offer freight broker training and dispatch training, where when you finish a course, you are guaranteed a job. Now, there is no other freight broker training or dispatch training out there that can guarantee your job. There are other training platforms that say they'll help you find a job. They'll assist you with finding a job. They'll do that type of stuff, but no one can guarantee your job other than us. And the way that we can guarantee a job, because we run the freight brokerage firms that we're going to place you with. Okay, that's the only way you can guarantee a job is if you run the firm, right? So that's what we did. We set out to create a consulting firm that would do freight broker management. There is no other freight broker management firm in this country. There's no other freight broker management firm in this industry. We created this niche. So we're all the ones doing it. All right, so there you have it. If you all have been looking for a way to, to take some type of training course that guarantees you a job with the brokerage firm, RBBS Logistics Learning Centers is the place to go. And for those of you who are experienced dispatchers, okay, our carrier group management division is perfect for people who are, if you are a dispatcher and what we consider your book of business, you don't have to have a whole bunch of shippers, but we do want you to have at least 1 or 2 shippers, right? But if you've got at least 1 shipper who's ready to onboard with our brokerage firm, who you know you can convince to onboard with our brokerage firm, and along with that, if you have that you contract with as a dispatch firm, if you have 2 or 3 trucking companies, now as a trucking company, I didn't say it an owner operator. We're talking about trucking companies, fleets. If you have 2 or 3 trucking companies, where each of those trucking companies have at least 20 trucks, you don't have to take our training course to work for our brokerage firms. But you have to have at least 1 shipper. And you must have at least 2 or 3 trucking companies that have at least 20 trucks apiece. If you have that, you don't have to take our 2-week career training course. So in other words, if you have a book of business, and when you say you have a book of business, we're going to have you to fill out what's called our book of business evaluation form. We have a validation form that you must fill out. We'll send that to you. It's a form that you have to fill out to it's called our book of business. It's called our book of business evaluation form. Let me see if I can find it. It's in our back office on Hollow Board. As a matter of fact, it's in our back office. Let me put my back office here. Go to our back office. It's in our back office, that evaluation form. Well, our staff and stuff can get to it. You're in the back office. I think it's also on our groups too. This is our employee back office area, where we share a lot of stuff. All of our staff contact lists, all the sales team members assigned brokerage processors. And we assign our salespeople to a team. Your team will consist of 1 processor. 1 processor has 3 freight acquisition executives and 3 carrier group managers to their team. Okay, the Hollow Board, freight acquisition shipper interest form, carrier group manager intake form. Go Connie, go Connie. Hollow Board acquisition executive shipper interest form. Where's that evaluation? If it's not here, I've got it in important announcements, standard palletized, human resources form. Okay, I might have put it in the, I know it's here. It's probably in our group. Go here to our files. Go to my, here, let me go to my group files. I know I got it, probably got it in the files. Go to group files. Okay. Detail email for shippers. Alabama distribution centers. I don't have it in files. Okay. I had it pulled up early. I know where I can find it. Y'all give me a second. I'm sorry. I know I can go to LinkedIn because we've got some applicants who I've sent it out to who says that they have a book of business. So you got to go to LinkedIn and pull it up from one of our the applicant that we send it to. Okay, look for applicants. Oh, someone just applied for a job. We got a new applicant. We got to respond to her. Okay. As you can see, we got a lot of applicants, people who applied for a position within our brokerage firm every single day. Every single day. But anyway, let me find this book of business. Here we go, right here. One of our applicants right here. Book of business validation form. There it is right there. Book of business validation form. All right. If you have a book of business, you're going to have to fill out this form. This is a part of the hiring process. If you have a book of business, you're going to be required to fill out this form. The Hall Board Logistics Book of Business Validation Form. Okay, you'll be required to provide all required details to validate your book of business to work with Hall Board Logistics. Please note, you are not required to disclose specific names of contact persons. However, every question must be answered to validate. So you basically gotta fill out these questions here. Fill this out, and then you're going to submit it, and then we're going to review your book of business. The next step in the hiring process after Hall Board Logistics positively validates your book of business, we will forward you both an employment contract and an offer of employment via email. We appreciate your interest in joining our company and look forward to meeting you in the future. Thank you. So this is our book of business validation form that if you state in your application that you have a book of business, then we are going to send you this form for you to fill out for us to validate your book of business. Once it's validated, then we will offer you a position within the firm. So there it is right there. For those of you who want to apply for a position within the firm, you simply go to hollowboard.org and you go to careers at Hollowboard. You're going to go to careers at Hollowboard. And this is our career page, experienced freight brokers and dispatchers with a book of business, work as a corporate sales professional in Hollowboard's freight acquisition division or carrier group management division. Work remotely, performance-based residual compensation, first year earner potential 120K to 265K, full benefits after 1 year, health, dental, and vision, vested retirement/pension package after 5 years. You can apply either for the freight acquisitions executive position, or you can apply for the carrier group manager's position. Now, if you don't have a book of business, you click down here and guaranteed career placement. Do you have a book of business? No. Train with us for 2 weeks and immediately work in our freight brokerage firm. So click that if you don't have a book of business, and I'll take you over to our the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers where you can enroll in our 2-week training program, course enrollment, 100% job guarantee. You can click that, or you come up here, you can click enroll now. If you want to see who our hiring partners are, click here on the consortium of hiring partners, and it'll take you, let you know who our hiring partners are. This is our different brokerage firms that we are associated with, who we hire for, who we put people through our training program, and then they are offered positions within these brokerage firms. So if you are a brokerage firm and you want to be on our list of hiring partners, click here, send us your information, and we'll tell you how you can become associated with us, for us to train people to work in your firms, or for us to take over your firm and run your firm. So then we can place people within the firm because we'll be the ones who will run your firm. All right. But that's that. And of course, if you want to enroll in any of our curriculums, you go to enroll now, and we have everything from a freight broker starter kit, which is $29.95 ebook, have our veterans enrollment and individual enrollment for the platform that you all are in right now, the Dispatchers Network. We have the corporate enrollments for the Dispatchers Network, and we have our freight broker and dispatch training with guaranteed career placement right here. $1,850. Of course, we have financing available. You can finance all of this through any of these things except for the ebook. You can finance them through a firm, You just click the Affirm link on at checkout, and then it'll tell you what the monthly payments will be through Affirm. I think these right here, like $116 a month through Affirm, as you can see right here, as low as $116 a month with Affirm. Click here to learn more. Pops up, tells you what the Affirm financing is if you go through Affirm. We also have PayPal financing and other types of financing too. So make it real simple for people to be able to do this stuff and take the training and get into a real good position with a brokerage firm to get on your way to earn some residual income. So, but that's how we do it. If you do have a book of business, click on which position you want to apply for. Click here, takes you over to the online application form, and all you got to do is just fill out this online application. You see this application here. The form is for a freight acquisition executive. It outlines what the position is. As a freight acquisition executive, you'll be required to attract new customers, shippers, securing an agreement for the brokerage firm to arrange for the movement of their freight. All leads provided by corporate. We'll provide you with all your leads. Just basically go through here, you fill out this form, hit the required areas, answer these questions, upload your resume, type in your letter of interest, and then you submit your application. Simple as that. All right. So if you're applying for the carrier group management position, click over there, apply now, take you to the carrier group manager's application and fill out that application. So for those of you who've been wanting to work with the brokerage firm, if you have a book of business, you're more than welcome to submit the application. If you don't have a book of business, you're gonna have to take the 2-week career placement guaranteed career placement course that we have. All right, that's it. That's it. Okay. So thank you all. I appreciate you all, everybody. Let me check my YouTube channel real quick again. All right, nothing going on over there. All right, cool. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight, for sticking around with us. It is 9/11, so it's time for us to say goodbye. Look, everybody, thank you all. I appreciate you again. You know, much love to all of you all. I will definitely see you all back here in about 3 weeks. If not, if we can work it out to when we can have Gina to take over Thursday night training for our 2-week guaranteed career placement training, then I will be back here on next Thursday. But as of right now, look to see me back here in about 3 weeks. All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank you all. Bye, everybody.